you know, 5 years from now, if you put up the stats, and you put up the Joker stats, you put up SGA stats, and you didn't know who these players were, 99.9% of the world would say, this guy is the MVP. We've never seen the game he had the other night against Phoenix and Denver. Wilt Chamberlain has crazy numbers, but he surpassed Wilt Chamberlain's numbers. The Jordan, Karl Malone era when they was talking about, well, Jordan's won the MVP every year. Karl Malone's having a great year. I'm tired of voting for Michael Jordan. So I'm going to vote for Karl Malone and give it to Karl Malone. Now, that's no slight at Karl Malone. And that may be the case this year.
Okay.
But again, I watch basketball 24/7, 365. Ain't nobody playing better basketball right now, completely, than Nikola out in Denver.
When discussing the career of Nikola Jokic, it's one of the greatest success stories in NBA history. As looking at the past 5 years, this guy's evolution, nothing short of spectacular. As of course back in 2020, a great young player all-star, a rising star. 5 years later, not only a star, but a superstar, the best player in the world, and the best players to ever lace them up. And looking at that 5-year time period, and the Joker virtually every single season has added some new aspect, some new wrinkle to his game that elevates his team and the overall organization. As of course back in 2021, up that scoring average by a whopping 7 points per game, with Jamal Murray being out. 2022 became the first player in NBA history to score 2,000 points, grab 1,000 boards, and dish out 500 assists. And then in 2023, kind of the final piece of the puzzle, the Joker's overall efficiency reached historical levels, as in the field, just above 60%, and from 3, just above 38%.
No, it's not true. That's impossible!
That stretch right there is where Jokic became an historically dominant player, one of the best players of all time. But of course, this year 2025 has kind of put it all together into one historic season, as this year averaging a triple-double, highly efficient, and shooting 40% from 3, with a clear-cut best player in the world. At this point, Jokic is so great, so dominant. If he's a 30-point triple-double, it's another Tuesday, you don't take a second glance at it, it's typical Jokic. And then of course, some nights, if he only has 27 points, 8 boards, and 8 dimes, you'd say this dude was kind of held in check and was not typical Jokic that we're used to seeing. At this point, the Joker is that great, that dominant, a near 28-point triple-double is kind of beneath him. And look, if we want to talk MVP, the Joker at this point isn't going to win the award. That's going to be SGA. As of course in ESPN's latest straw poll, SGA had 77 first-place votes, the Joker only 23. And look, I'm not really mad at it, it is what it is. The Joker's still the best player in the world, the best offensive player alive.
But, if we were just giving to the best player, it would just be like, okay, Jokic, you're playing? There you go. Oh, you're playing this year too? There you go. Correct!
So with that second place finish, looking at the Joker's resume, that's going to make 5 straight years the Joker has been top 2 in the MVP, from 2021 till now. And all of NBA history, only 2 other players have accomplished that feat. That of course being Larry Joe Bird, 82 to 86, and Bill Russell in late 50s, early 1960s. There's very few players ever who are so durable, so consistent, they can finish top 10 MVP for 5 straight seasons. And of course, the Joker playing this era, battling guys like Giannis, Embiid, Luka, SGA, finishing top 2 5 straight years is a phenomenal feat.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
And when discussing guys like Russell and Bird, you might not say the best players in league history, but they're 2 guys who made all their teammates better for playing with them. Looking at the Joker, kind of has his exact same qualities, as whether it be Westbrook, Bruce Brown, and Aaron Gordon, all these guys around these players get better playing with them, and the players on other teams want to play with that guy.
It's just amazing. He makes everybody around him better. The biggest thing for me watching and being Denver my whole life is just how consistent he is and how great, how much we depend on him to be great every night. And he does it with no complaints, just smiling on his face.
That right there above all else is the ultimate compliment. Are you easy to play with? Can you adapt to your teammates and make those guys better? Guys like Russell, Bird, and Jokic check all 3 boxes. And staying on Bill Russell for 1 second, if you look at the early 1960s when he won his 3rd MVP, Boston that year They won 60 games, the best record in the NBA, and had the best defense because of Bill Russell. But to a lot of fans, historically, stats-wise, the best overall player wasn't Bill Russell, it was actually Wilt Chamberlain. My overall point is pretty simple. Russell won the MVP, but Wilt Chamberlain had the more long-lasting impact of his dominance that specific year. For SJ versus Jokic, I kind of get the similar vibe. SJ this year checks all the boxes to be an MVP. When you look back 20, 30, 50 years time, you're not going to say SJ this year had a better year top to bottom than Nikola Jokic. As of course, the Joker, not only dominant versus his peers, but dominant versus all of NBA history. As looking at SJ this year, his overall PR is 30.9. That ranks 21st all time for a single season. No doubt impressive, historically great, and noteworthy. Look at the rest of that list. Jokic, 20th, 15th, 12th, 2nd, then 1st. That is 5 different years the Joker to higher PR than SJ at his best in 2025. And again, what does that mean? SJ this year, yes, has been historically great. The Joker, though, historically more great, more noteworthy, and more dominant. Sometimes the MVP race, that's how it goes down. The best player, most dominant player that got the best stats doesn't always win the award. As looking at him versus his peers, not just NBA history, I mean dominant top to bottom. Points per game ranks 3rd, assists 2nd, rebounds 3rd, defensive boards 2nd, and steals 2nd.
That's rad.
The Joker is kind of the first guy since Wilt Chamberlain who fills up a stat sheet in all areas. Points, boards, assists, check, check, check. And when it comes to MVP, this dude, he already has 3. Getting a 4th, doesn't really do much for him. We know he's a great player, historically dominant, we know that already. What the Joker really needs to do now is focus on the 2nd championship and that 2nd finals MVP. As if he gets that in Denver, that moves the needle drastically for his all-time ranking. And if the Joker needs any motivation to do that, accomplish that feat, look at Kendrick Perkins. This guy in his first championship run doubted him at every single turn, was proven wrong every single day. And of course, this year on March 4th, had the infamous quote from LeBron James was the better overall player than the Joker.
You went full retard, man.
And the funny thing is, since that take, the Joker taking his game up another notch. As in those 10 preceding games, 34 points per game, 13 boards, 8 dimes on phenomenal shooting. In that stretch, had a 30-20-20 game versus Phoenix, the first in NBA history, and last night versus Minnesota had an epic triple-double, scoring 61 points. For really any player in league history, having a 60-point triple-double in a 30-20-20 game in their careers, that's a phenomenal achievement. But the Joker having 2 of those games in a 10-game stretch, it's unheard of, unprecedented for any player all time. Now, looking past those eye-popping stats, one thing I do want to talk about is the clutch player of the year. As a lot of players talk about this award, Nikola's name doesn't come up as much as you think. As of course, last year finished 4th in the award voting, and the year prior to that, finished 13th. But I think this year has a very good case to win the award outright. As looking at his clutch time stats, in scoring, he ranks 3rd, and assist ranks 1st. Out of the entire NBA, the Joker is the only player top 3 in both those categories. The Joker right now in clutch time situations generates the most points in the NBA on the highest efficiency. And of course, late in a ball game, who do you want making the pass, making the shot more than the Joker? If you ask me, there's nobody. And expanding that scope a little bit further, looking at 4th quarter OT scoring, the Joker stats yet again are phenomenal and top tier. As scoring-wise, he ranks 1st among qualifiers, and assist ranks 2nd, only behind Trae Young. Once again, out of the entire NBA, the only player top 3 in both those categories. I understand it's not the MVP award, but the Joker very clearly, in my view, is the most clutch player in the world and the guy you want in the postseason with the game on the line. And speaking of the playoffs, looking at the Western Conference, what it comes down to is matchups and seeding. As of course, the 1 seed Oklahoma City, they're the best from the West, they should make the finals. Teams 2 through 5, they're all good teams, but highly flawed. The 6 seed Memphis, they're just hanging on for dear life, and both the Clippers and Timberwolves are kind of wild cards in the first round you don't want to see. Denver's path to West Finals depends on 2 things: matchups and Nikola Jokic. If he's typical Jokic, they'll be there. If they play Memphis and Houston, they will be there in the West Finals. That's what it comes down to. This guy's that great, that dominant, he can carry this team and elevate them to the West Finals. As once again, looking at the past month, this guy's been on a heater all-time great run leading up to the postseason. All he needs realistically is a reliable number 2 option and guys who can make plays, make timely passes, and make the right decisions. So that right there is the end of the video. And once again, concerning Jokic this year, not going to win the MVP, get all the accolades, but in terms of historical dominance, historical significance, in 20-30 years time, the Joker season this year will have a long-lasting impact to NBA fans in the future. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.